Anybody can watch this, and with AI, you've got no excuse not to know facts and say, is what John Bryant's saying or Bishop Jakes is saying true? If you can confirm that, then what are we talking about?
Right. Chapter number 3, we're all the same. I think something else, something quite simple that we have to consider, our body does not reject human body parts based on race.
Wow.
If you need a heart transplant, you can take a heart transplant from a black man and put it in a white man's body, and the body will accept the heart from the black man. Yeah. It's not like the heart will say, oh, that's a black heart, I won't take it. It's not any different. The molecular structure of the organ and its ability to knit itself back together with any kind of medication, regardless who they are, you're gonna have to take some sort of medication, makes it possible for the body to integrate. If you need a blood transplant, and I have the same blood type as you do, we don't have to ask what race the person is or what color they are, it should be a better term, before we're able to ingest that blood transfusion and sustain our lives.
Because blood plasma was created by a black man, Charles Drew, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm always inspired by the Instagram posts I see of the white man walking up to the black family who gave his daughter a heart. Right. Or a lung because there was an accident and the donor was black. That all the racial friction just falls away, to your point.
And that's something I think we need to think about, that we are the same species. You can't take the heart of a dog and put it in a goat.
There you go.
You can't take the heart of a goat and put it in a cow.
There you go.
Yeah, we are the same species. And my concern is, I'm concerned about the species as a whole surviving, because this is not just an American problem, and it's not just a black and white and brown problem. It is happening in the Middle East, it's happening all over the world. Syria is in a rubble. Congo, people are being killed. They're calling Congo the red carpet because there's so much blood being shed in Congo currently right now. I stopped writing Shades of Gray because I came to Africa with an American ideal about race. And when I got over there, where everybody over there just about was black, I found out it wasn't about what Americans say it's about. They divided over tribes. And they were fighting and killing over tribes. They were doing genocides over tribes, even though they looked just alike. So we found reasons to hate each other.
Africans were involved in the slave trade. They didn't know it. They didn't know it, but they were fighting with each other, taking each other prisoner, selling each other for trade, economics, and then they would trade somebody to the coast, because whites couldn't go to the center of Africa. You needed somebody to trade you out to the coast, and they didn't realize they were trading somebody into slavery. But everybody, Arabs were involved in the slave trade, blacks, Europeans. It was a horrible, Indians, it was a horrible business model that was accepted back then.
Wait.
Yeah.
Slave trade has never stopped.
There we go.
The slave trade is going on right now.
Yes, sir.
There are people that are paying money to get out of Ghana, to get out of Nigeria, to think that they're going to freedom, that are going to be sold into slavery all over the world.
Yes.
Their slavery is going on for money. There are whites being sold, bodies, young girls, young boys. So slavery still exists today as much as ever. It's just underground, but it's still there.
And indentured servitude. You go into parts of the Middle East and they take your passport when you come in, and you say you owe them X dollars. You got to work it off. And if you work it off, you get your passport back, but not a moment until.
Right.
And you live in their housing, and you do their job, and you're invisible. And I don't want to get, the point is, yes, things are messy and complicated. Let's now connect, Bishop, this to 6,000 years ago. No, let's go back 150, or let's make this real complicated. Let's go back 400,000, 300, 200,000 years ago, where Neanderthals ran into Homo sapiens.
Okay.
And we're all cousins. So no different than you say these tribes are battling. You had Neanderthals who were better copers for cold weather. They were better hunters, and so on and so forth. The Homo sapiens, they came together. There was some interbreeding, and there was some they got busy. You'd think that the Neanderthals would have survived because it was just brute force. I would say that the Homo sapiens were spiritually endowed. They were more thoughtful, and ultimately they're the ones who actually survived in this chain reaction of human development. And most of us have a little Neanderthal in our DNA, by the way. That's somewhere between 0, if you're in Africa, up to 5%. I'm sure I have some. In fact, I know I have some in my system. I'm 26% European, 71% African. The rest is Asian, Indian, and others. So who do I hate, by the way? If I hate Europeans, I hate myself. But go back to the story. So that battle for how we evolve is a constant struggle. And I think God endowed this. I'm getting out of my lane now. You're going to correct me. God endowed the top of the food chain of humans with this spiritual dimension so that we have a higher responsibility than every other animal. I think that God's breath in us made us unique amongst animals.
I think it's not only just a higher responsibility, I think it's a higher ability. Because the Creator created us in His likeness and in His image, therefore we are creative. We have no other species that has made an automobile yet. We have no other species that's created an airplane yet. We have no other species that's built a house with elevators yet. We have no other species that has progressed as much as man has, and most of it in the last 300 years.
Yes.
Okay, up until then, we were kind of coasting along like this, but the elevation of the man's brain, as the man's brain developed, his creativity was a reflection of the growth of his brain and how he perceived himself and how he was able to add on to his environment and was expressing his likeness of God in being creative. And that creativity has an economic impact that helps the middle class to survive, because you become producers, not just consumers. You produce things, and when you produce things, you're able to have a cost to them, which creates job markets, that creates GDP, that causes growth to happen in the world. And we have to understand that we didn't have a GDP to start with. We didn't have a gross economy to start with. This is all something that we enhanced the earth with as we evolved into more intelligent, intellectual species. And we don't roar like the lion. We don't run like the cheetah. We don't leap like the hyena. We don't fly like the eagle, because that's not our strength. Our strength was not in our arms, not in our wings, not in our legs, not even in our ears, but in our head. Our greatest strength is our ability to think. And we have stopped thinking. We are letting machines think for us. We are letting other people think for us. We are letting entertainment think for us. And the more they think for us, the less creative we become. And the less creative we become, the less inventive we become. And the more less like our Creator we evolve into. And we lose the middle class when we stop making things and start consuming things. Because all animals consume. But not all animals create.
Man, you just got transported back to the Potter's house.
No,
you're preaching.
But think about it for a minute. It is the creativity of man that makes him superior. It is the creativity of man that made ships and made aircraft and made planes and made astronauts. The creativity of man. You don't see anybody else making astronauts. You don't see eagles making astronauts. It is the creativity of man, which is part of our fallen but still available God likeness, that we are creative, whether it's art, whether it's painting, whether it's music. We are the only species that can do like Beethoven and create a symphony and be deaf when we create it and still be able to do it. That level of creativity is an exploration of the God likeness of our brain. And that's something that we have to appreciate. And it does not limit itself to any particular culture, or we wouldn't have hip hop.
That's it.
Or we wouldn't have jazz. Or we wouldn't have soul music.
That's it.
Or we wouldn't have all the things, Chopin and Beethoven and Bach and all of these different types of music that we have enjoyed over the years, or the Africans wouldn't have taken.
Which came from blackness, by the way.
Taken canes and beat them and made music out of them, and xylophones were created. All that. We have taken sticks sticks and turned them into furniture. We have taken trees and turned them into tables. We are creative. No other species can say that but us.
That's right.
And our concern now becomes, as we develop an artifact that imitates our creativity called artificial intelligence. My concern is the more that we rely on it rather than use it as a tool, the more we rely on it, the more our brains shrink and the less competent we become, because it is easy to become enslaved by whoever thinks the most with the most superiority.